How's it, guys? This is Dayvy Fpl and welcome back to another deadline stream with me. Game week 14, we're going to be going over the talking points and obviously your guys' questions as well. And we're also going to be talking about what my final team is going to set up to be. Hopefully, this is on time. I managed to sneak it in on that 12:30 my time here. So we're starting exactly an hour before the deadline. So hopefully we can cover all your guys' questions and everything about that. Just let me know in chat if the sound is sounding fine. Unfortunately, I've had to open my windows. It's just quite a hot day here in South Africa. So if you do hear the occasional car driving past, I do apologize for that. And if my mic does cut off, I've been sneezing quite a lot today. Maybe I'm just allergic to FPL. But yeah, so if I ever just cut out, you know what's happening. So firstly, I just wanted to give a little bit of a shout out to the sponsor of the stream, OneFootball. Those of you who have been following the channel for quite a while know that we did have our first sponsorship. So link down in the description if you do want to download the app. A great app. I use it to keep up to date with all the FPL goodness, especially the Premier League, but also the Champions League. So give it a look. And as I said, link down in the description. It is a free app, so you can download it on iOS or Android. But getting into my team here, there's a couple of people in here, so I think I'm going to be starting off by talking about how my team is setting out, and then we'll kind of talk about your guys' questions, because I know we usually have the problem of repeated questions quite a lot on these deadline streams. So I'll start off by talking about my team. There's been some change. You would have seen on Twitter last night I did do the change from Abraham to Ings. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to catch the price rise of Danny Ings the night before. So a couple of people were asking me when I did do this transfer, but I did manage to do it last night. So missed out on the price rise. A little bit unfortunate, but Danny Ings comes in quite cheap. The reason I transferred out Abraham was I do feel like he is going to drop in price probably twice this weekend. He's already dropped in price last night, so I expect him to drop again. And I bought him in for 7.4 million. He was 8 million, so my selling price was 7.7. So worst case scenario, I do think that he will drop to about 7.8. So as I said, worst case 0.1 million there to buy him again. But I do think that we are looking at maybe him being a little bit of a doubt for Wednesday's fixture. I don't know if he's exactly going to be raring to go on a Wednesday night. And when you've got the likes of Batshuayi and Giroud in the wings, who can probably give you a fully fit striker, I think that Lampard probably will opt for that. I mean, if West Ham totally obliterate Chelsea this weekend, we might be talking differently. But right now, my kind of thoughts is that he's probably going to be missing 2 games. And I don't really care about the price rises. I know a lot of people are scared about having a lot of money in him. I think I was a little bit fortunate because I bought him in at 7.4. A couple of people brought him in quite early at like about 7.2. So you might be looking at that. A couple of people used their early transfers. So if you do have your transfers and you manage to have someone off the bench, I don't really think it's worth dropping Abraham. I think that you just kind of take the price rises on the chin and then you go for that. The other big question probably is why I didn't go for Raul Jimenez from Wolves. Probably the popular decision, and I'm sure a lot of you have gone for him. I just wanted to take a little bit of a punt on Danny Ings. As you can see here, Watford at home, Norwich at home. If you're not going to be buying Danny Ings for those 2 fixtures, I don't know when you're going to be buying him for. And obviously, you know, with me, I do have the wild card still. So my plan is basically to see how Danny Ings performs. And then I can make the switch to Raul Jimenez. Probably want Raul Jimenez for game week 18. They are playing Norwich away. So I'll probably bring him in on wild card as I am wild carding probably about that game week 18 mark. So that kind of covers the question. I do think Sheffield United is a tougher fixture than the likes of Watford. That's kind of why I went for him. I didn't want to have Lundstrom and Jimenez and kind of play my odds. I know a lot of you probably do own the same 2, so you're kind of hoping for the best of both worlds. Maybe Lundstrom a goal and Raul Jimenez a goal, or Lundstrom clean sheet and then Raul Jimenez a blank. But maybe I can get the best and a Lundstrom clean sheet and a goal, and then Danny Ings gets 2 double hat-tricks in one game. I don't think that he'll be getting that many goals, but he is a lot cheaper than Jimenez, so that's why I kind of went for him. And the other question is on this captaincy shout. So I don't know. I'm kind of deliberating a lot today. I kind of feel like Vardy's just the safe option, and I don't know if I always want to play FPL in the safe way. So I mean, I even have the Mohamed Salah Adidas shirt on today, so repping the Egyptian king. So I'm very tempted to kind of shift over to the Liverpool attacker. I know the likes of Mane is also going to be a popular captain choice, so I want to kind of captain a Liverpool option, and I do feel like Vardy's the safe choice. So, but the thing is, I don't really like watching Liverpool, and then if Mohamed Salah manages to miss a shot on target, I'm absolutely punching the wall and everything. So I do think that I probably will go for Vardy here. I think with the likes of bringing Danny Ings in, it's a little bit of a differential enough, and keeping the likes of Sterling. As you know, if you watch the transfer video, that's the other transfer I was considering, Sterling out for Mane, which is a better move in my opinion, but I don't know if it's worth the -4 hit this week. I think that City can still do the job against Newcastle, and I don't really want to transfer out Sterling and then he bangs, and then I was even considering maybe a cheeky captain on Sterling, because a lot of people have been losing the faith with him, and I feel like with the captaincy last week about how it was taken off with that last minute VAR decision, it will fill me with a little bit of joy if I manage to captain him and he absolutely bangs this week. That'll be pouring salt in the wounds a little bit though. I do think though, if you're going to want a very safe captaincy, I think Vardy, I think he's going to be scoring this week. So it might be not worth the risk of not captaining him. I think he's going to be captained by a lot of people, so it's quite a high risk maybe not to be captaining him. But as I said in the preview, there's so many captaincy options this week that you could kind of go for everything. So Caleb's just asking, is this team locked in? I think it's locked in except for captaincy. I would say I'm not going to be changing any players. I don't think I'm going to be taking a -4 hit. Obviously, I don't really have the best research for the deadline. So if any news does come up, maybe Mohamed Salah was pictured not on the bus or something, then you can tell me in chat. That would be much appreciated. But other than that, I think the only thing that might change is the captaincy. I'm quite tempted by going with the Liverpool midfielder of Salah, mainly because he's a little bit of a differential now. I know he's still owned by above 20%, but a lot of people have, as I said, lost the faith with him and Sterling. So could be a nice little differential captain, as I think most people will go for Mane or Vardy. But other than that, I think the team's looking quite good. It's not the best team that I've seen. I've seen a lot of people with a full home fixture team, the likes of Pope and goal, probably who I'd want this week. And then obviously I do have Nathan Ake, where a lot of people have been taking punts on the likes of Spurs attackers, Son and Kane, and there I am playing Nathan Ake, hoping for a clean sheet. So that's going to be quite funny if Bournemouth actually manage to hold out Spurs, but I don't have any faith in Bournemouth's defense. I'm just simply playing him as I don't think it's worth a -4 hit out. And Ake always kind of offers that attacking threat off the set pieces. So, but otherwise, let's get into chat and see what you guys are saying. We have quite a lot of transfer options that people are asking me about. So please listen carefully. I don't really want to answer the same questions twice. Okay, Todd saying, will you post your final team on Twitter? Because you asked, I will. I'll post it probably a little bit sooner to the deadline than usual. So just make sure the notifications are on for the tweets. I'll take a little bit of a break and then I'll post it over on Twitter. What's with the Ings hype? The Ings hype is pretty much he's been scoring lately. I know he doesn't have the big hauls. Yeah, it's basically one goal every so often. Got a pretty good record here, about 5 goals in the last 7, if I do believe. And then the fixtures. Basically, that's the only thing is the fixtures. Watford and Norwich, there's probably not two better fixtures than this. These are probably the 2 best fixtures if you want to have a striker. So that's why I said if I wanted to take a punt on him, he's owned by 6% of FPL managers, which is incredibly low. 6% matches his price there. That's a little bit of superstition there. That means he's going to be scoring 6.1 goals today, guys. So stay on the lookout there. If you want to take your bets, you can take a bets on a Danny Ings double hat-trick. But I just think that I would rather go for Ings. I don't think that Jimenez's fixtures are better than Ings, and I'm willing to take the risk with the wild card up my sleeve. I can still make those transfers. And I want to go a little bit differential. I kind of want to see if I can maybe take a punt that would see me go up the ranks a little bit. So Mohamed with the name of Batshuayi, which is a name that's been popping up. It's almost the most direct swap for Abraham. I do think that Giroud probably will be on the bench, and then Batshuayi should be starting. So you could look at him. I just think that if you're going to be transferring Tammy Abraham out, you might want to look at strikers that have better fixtures. The likes of, you could go for Ings, you could go for Jimenez, if you're willing to make that transfer. Because the thing is, if you're going to be taking Abraham out for Batshuayi, that means you're going to be transferring Batshuayi out for Abraham. So you kind of are putting yourself in a little bit of a corner there. So if you want to take it, you can go if you really think that those fixtures are that great. I do think the West Ham fixture is really good, but I do think that the Aston Villa one next isn't as easy as maybe people are saying. I do think that Aston Villa have been quite sure defensively. I know they're not the best, but the thing is with Chelsea, they usually concede, and Aston Villa have been keeping it quite tight. Look at the way they kept Liverpool out. I'm pretty sure they're going to be attacking that game the same way, so you could look for that. So with the captaincy, there's been a lot of questions on it, so I think I'm going to be doing like a general captaincy thing that I think on, like what players I think are quite good. So if you're looking at Spurs assets, they are worth the punt in my opinion. I think that the Bournemouth fixture historically has been really good. And Kane and Son have been more attacking under Jose Mourinho. I know it's only been 1 or 2 games, but we can definitely see a difference in the attack. I think Kane's a great shout. Son's also a great shout. And I think the fixture's good. They're going to be differential captains. So if you want to take a little bit of a punt, you could go for it. I do think out of the differential captains, they're probably the best. And then in terms of safety, there's only one man for safety. It's going to be Vardy. Vardy is the safe option this week. If you don't want to take too many risks, you want to be quite conservative, I would go for Vardy. And otherwise, I think the likes of the Liverpool boys are also good. The likes of Salah and Mane are probably Mane over Salah if you do own both. But I think that those are also great shots as well. I think Tammy Abraham could have come in the equation if he was fit, but since he's out, I don't think I'd be looking at other options. We do have a $2 donation from Jeffrey here saying, Tammy out for Ings or Traore on the bench. So that's a tough one to say. I think if you do have a player off the bench that you can play, the likes of Traore should be starting. It is a tough fixture against Sheffield United, so I don't know if you'll be getting that many points, but I do think in that situation, I would be looking at Traore off the bench. I think it's safe enough that you do have someone off the bench. If you look at me, you can see why I didn't make the transfer. I just have a pretty awful bench. So I had to make the transfer kind of, and I was comfortable with making it. So I do think, to answer your question, I would play Traore off the bench. I don't think that's a bad shot. If it is for a hit, then definitely just play Traore. But if it is a free transfer, that kind of muddles it up a little bit. I do think that if you don't have other fires to put out, you could do the Tammy to Ings. But right now, if I'm looking on paper, I would just say just play Traore off the bench. If it is a free transfer, you have 2 free transfers to assess next game week. And then maybe you can even make a bigger switch. Maybe take funds out of attack and put them in defense or something like that. Are the Brighton defenders back? So I think the likes of Dunk is suspended for this one. No, that was last game week. So I think that they are back. Sorry, that's my mistake. I think the Brighton defenders are back. So they should all be fit and should be probably parking the bus against Liverpool. But the Liverpool-Brighton game always has goals in it. So I think a lot of people are maybe expecting a tighter game. But I do think that there are goals in this one. The tough situation for me is Salah hasn't been playing that greatly the past couple game weeks. So even if it is 4 goals, I don't think that I have that much faith in Salah scoring 1 or 2 of those. I think that they could come from 2 from Mane, 1 from Oxlade-Chamberlain if he does start, or something. Do you think Liverpool will ever sign Chanda Monkey or Kyle Watson? I think that those guys would be great in the dressing room for the pre-game talks and deep house sessions, but other than that, I think they're that great of football players. Mohammed saying, are you on holiday now, bro? I am on holiday. Finished my exams, got all the results back, so I am on holiday now and looking forward to creating lots of FPL content. Gavin Gould saying, Sterling 1 card off from suspension. That is true, but the nice thing with that is, like, if he does get suspended against Newcastle, if he does get the yellow card against Newcastle, I can easily just chop and change him out for Mane, which I'm really comfortable doing. I do want to try and get Mane in, so I think that that will be quite a good transfer. I'm not too worried about the suspension, as you've seen with a lot of players where they do have one card away from a yellow. They generally don't make those tackles and don't go back that badly and that kind of stuff. So we do have another £2 donation from the Enchanted Fortress. KDB to Son. I think Son has better fixtures. So it's a tough one because I'd argue that probably De Bruyne is the best Man City option to go for. But if you want to take a little bit of a jump off of Man City completely, I do think that Son is a great option. If you do have the likes of Sterling, I'd maybe say that you could do that transfer. But if you're kind of negating the Man City attack completely, then I don't know if I would look at that move. If you want to take a differential punt, I think now's the time to do it. Listen, if you want to get Son in, do it this game, because Bournemouth at home, that's a great fixture. And I think that if you see him scoring against Bournemouth and then you're going to be looking at transferring him out, I don't know if it's going to be that profitable, as Spurs' fixtures in the upcoming aren't the greatest. They do have some nice ones here and there, but this Spurs attack, I don't trust it fully. So I do think if you're going to take the punt, do it this game week. So I do think that KDB to Son this game is 100%. I think that Son will get more points than Kevin De Bruyne, but it's just that future that you have to consider. Dayvy, can I pick Sterling as captain? I was talking about this at the beginning of the stream. I'm really tempted to do it because it's almost like the S-word housery. I don't want to swear on stream, but you know what I'm saying? Because of that VAR captaincy, where it took Sterling's points away last game week. Imagine if Sterling does score a hat-trick this game week. It's going to rub the salt in the wounds of those who did captain him. So unfortunately, if you did captain him, it was very unlucky. I do think that it was a goal. I don't think that offside was far enough to redeem it a noticeable error. So I do think that Sterling's a capable captain, but the thing is, this game week, there's so many great captains that I don't see you shifting that much. I don't think it's worth the risk. So I would play Hayden over Ake. I don't think I'm going to play Hayden over Ake. I think that Ake maybe has the better attacking threat. Listen, on Monday night, we could come back here and Hayden could have scored a goal or something like that. But I just think that I'd rather play a player against Spurs than a player against Hayden. Cantwell or Musset for starting. That's a tough one. I think that I would go with Musset. I think that leading man up front, he's been looking in great form, so I think you have to go with him. Norwich are always a little bit hit or miss. So Mane or Vardy for captaincy. I'd say Vardy for safety, Mane for ceiling. Sterling is going to be my captain this game. That's great. I love to see a little bit of a different captain than most people have. Rico or Kelly. Kelly looks to be a great shout. That was the other transfer I was considering. Was Lascelles out for Kelly? Ward is seen to have picked up a little bit of an injury, so should be out for the next couple of weeks. And then I think that Kelly's going to come in that spot, even if it's for the next 4 game weeks. If it's the next 2 weeks, we have tons of fixtures over this Christmas period. If Ward is out for a month, that means that Kelly's going to be starting about like 6 game weeks or whatever. So I think it's a great shout, really cheap, and I think that Crystal Palace's fixtures are really good. Are you planning a future goalkeeper transfer with better fixtures? I was planning on it. I was thinking about maybe Gaza from Spurs, but then Spurs have been not that great defensively. I was looking at the likes of Henderson, as I'm really tempted to double up on that Sheffield United defense. I think I would have been more tempted if they didn't concede 3 at home to United. That was a little bit of an off-put for me. Rashford captaincy too risky. I don't think any captaincy is too risky, as we've seen throughout this season that the captaincies really haven't been performing that well. So I don't think it's risky, but I just think that this game week there are better captaincy options. So I think that I would look at maybe other options. But if you want to go super differential, I would maybe consider Rashford. Why don't you change Ryan? I just don't think that it's worth transferring out Ryan for a -4 hit. I think he's going to be getting tons of saves today against Liverpool. And you know Matt Ryan, he loves a save. So those save points hopefully are going to be racking in. Sorry, I just drank some water there. Made a bit sound. Thoughts on Salah over Sterling? That's fine. I think Liverpool's fixtures are better than Man City. So hopefully Sterling regains some form, as he's been quite terrible recently. How good an option is Kane as captain? I think that he's a good shout to go for. Nice little differential. It's come at a perfect time because not many people have the funds to transfer Kane in. So I do think that that looks good. Lucas Moura in, Cantwell out for -4. That's a tough one to go by. On the basis of things, that looks quite good. I think it's a good move for the future. So Pereira to Trent, free transfer. Your opinions? That is a tough one to go by because Leicester have some very nice fixtures coming up. And I don't know if Liverpool have been redeeming their defense that well, especially with the likes of Fabinho out now. I think I would probably hold that one. If you don't have any fires to put out and you really want a Liverpool defender, I would go for it. Trent is probably the Liverpool defender I'd be looking at. We do have another super chat from Jeffrey with $1. He didn't write any message there, so if that is a mistake, just write your message in chat, Jeffrey, and I'll get to it. Otherwise, if it was just a generous $1 donation, I really appreciate it, buddy. Thanks a lot. Pulisic captain thoughts. My overall rank is 1 million. You can go for any captain you want. That is probably going to be one of the lowest captain players I know. So I don't think it's a bad shot, as a lot of us were looking at the Abraham captain before this. So we definitely like the fixture. Thoughts on Aurier? Aurier is a good one as well. I don't think you're going to be relying on too many clean sheets, but I do think his attacking threat kind of makes up for it. There aren't too many players around that 5 million mark, so if you want to kind of keep a player that's a little bit of a set and forget, I would go for him. Just keep an eye out for if you are thinking about keeping him for long term, as they could have other wingbacks back over this period, so just look out for that. Thoughts on Aurier in for Ake out? That's a transfer I was also thinking about, so I would go for that one. If that's a free transfer, that's definitely worth it. Why didn't you use your wild card yet? I'm looking to use it around that Game Week 18 mark when Liverpool have their blank fixture, as I'll be holding off from Liverpool assets for those 2 game weeks, as they do play Leicester away after they come back from the Club World Cup, and then I can prepare my team nicely for that nice December period. Jimenez for Abraham, I just chose Ings. Both are good options. Will Sterling play 90 minutes? I do think he'll start. I think he'll get close to 90 minutes. I don't know if it'll be exactly 90 minutes. We have J-Boy there saying, thoughts on Lundstrom captain? You know what? I saw a guy captain Lundstrom last game week, and when Sheffield United were 2-0 up against Manchester United, I thought that this was actually going to be a great shout there. Unfortunately, they managed to concede. So Liam Taylor saying, is the deadline 11:30 or 11? It is 11:30. I think for you British guys, you are 2 hours behind me right now. So the deadline is at 12:30, or maybe... No, it's at 1:30, so it will be 11:30 for you guys over in the UK. Otherwise, for us South Africans, it is at 1:30. So just make sure you have your team set up for that. Tammy out for Musset or Ings. I think you got to go for Ings on that one, unless you really want to maybe make that transfer for other positions. So if you want to get your funds from Musset, then you can look at it. But I do think over these next 2 game weeks, I think you got to go for Ings with those fixtures. I do see there that someone just asked, how do you plan on getting the funds? Asked Ryan. So I think that Abraham is going to go down. He already went down in price last night. I do think he'll go down in price again. So then he's only 0.1 million away from what I bought him for. So Rid Jimenez for Ings will be a -4. Ask Alvin Blocks. Alvin, I don't think that's a good transfer there. Yimmy, as in Yim, if it's Jimenez to Ings for a -4, I don't think I would do that transfer. I just don't think it's worth it. I think that Jimenez still has so much potential. It's a great shot. I nearly transferred him in. So, Alvin, I don't think I'll be making that move. Sorry. But thank you so much for the £2 donation there. Martial as captain. Thoughts? It's the same thing with Rashford. If you want to go mega differential, then I would look at that. Otherwise, I don't know. In terms of other transfer, we have Batshuayi for Abraham. So my take on Batshuayi for Abraham, a good shout for this next fixture, but I do think that you're going to be kind of putting yourself in a corner. I think that there are other strikers that have better fixtures than Batshuayi. So I think that if you're going to be taking the punt on him because you're going to be wanting to bring Abraham back, then obviously you won't want to have Batshuayi on your bench. So I think that there are other better options, the likes of Jimenez and Ings over these next 2 that I would go for if you're going to be taking the likes of Batshuayi. But if you want to go for him as a straight swap, it's pretty safe, so I would go for that. Musset or Traore, I think that I would go for Musset. He's just more up front, and I do think that Sheffield United have been quite defensively sure. So it's going to be a tight game, I do think, that one. I think it's either going to be 0-0 or 1-1. I'm sorry, I missed the Lascelles transfers options. You could go for Aurier, you could go for Kelly. I think if you want to save funds, Kelly's probably the one to go for. I think you're switching out Rico for Kelly, William. I think that's a great shout there. That's not a bad transfer at all. Keep or sell Cantor. I think you keep him. Even if you want to play him, you could go for him. Thanks, Alvin. I appreciate it. Nice verified badge there. Is this the confirmed team? This is the confirmed team except for captaincy. Maybe one of you will manage to sway my decision in favor of Salah. But other than that, the transfers are probably locked in. Jamie saying, is Kelly starting again? I do believe so. I think Ward is out for a couple of weeks now, so should be a great shout there. Bednarek, an option for just 4.5. Great fixtures. I think if you don't own Kelly, I would do that move. But if you want Kelly, then if you don't have Kelly, then I would make that move. I just think he's a better option playing with a team that's pretty much a better defense. So definitely a good shot there. Aurier worth a punt, yes. Lacazette or Pulisic captain. The Arsenal boys are quite an interesting one. Manager's just been sacked, playing probably the worst defense in the Premier League, so should spell for goals from Lacazette or Aubameyang. So I think a differential punt, you could go for that. But other than that, I don't know. Gevaarlijk, dankie o. Would you triple captain this week if you? Let me just see. Would you triple captain this week if you were to? I'm more of a triple captain, double game week type of guy, so I don't know if I would triple captain this game week. I don't know if there's a player with that great fixture that you want to go for. If you know what I'm saying, it's not like we have a Salah or a Mane versus Norwich at home. Then I would look at that, but I don't think the fixtures this game week are that great. That doesn't mean the players aren't going to be performing well, but I don't know. Do you think Cantor will get points this week against Arsenal? I hope not, because I transferred him out last game week and that was a disaster. But I do think there is potential. As I said, Norwich are kind of a hit or miss team. They seem to pitch up for some games, but then go on a mission for 6 weeks where they do nothing. But I don't know. I think that if it's a fixture against one of the top 6 you want to play is Arsenal. But I think that he could get points. But if you do have other transfers or other people on your bench to rather play, then you can go for it. Let me just change something here. Sorry. Someone's just asking me to put on slow mode, so I'm going to try and maybe put that on. I'm not the best at this live streaming stuff, so I don't know exactly how to turn it on, but I will try and do it for you. There we go. Let's go. I managed to do it. So thank you to whoever asked me to do that. I think it was someone up here. I can't. Well, thank you to whoever asked. Sorry if it was a little bit spammy. I do usually prefer if people just are a little bit chilled. I'll get to most of your guys' questions. Don't worry. Who to get between Rashford, Jimenez, and Ings? So that was basically what I was going for. Is those were my 3 options that I could have gone for, except for maybe Rashford. I don't think I could have gone for Rashford. I don't know if I had the funds. But I went for Ings, as I just think he's got 2 better fixtures than Jimenez over the next 2. I do have the wild card, so I'm looking to maybe bring in Jimenez later down the line. Maybe around game week 18 as he does have Norwich away. But in terms of Ings, you're not going to buy Ings ever if you don't buy him for these next 2 fixtures. He was a little bit cheaper, so I just went for him. Taking a little bit of a punt, he was a differential, which kind of swayed it in my opinion. We do have young Thugger regular saying, will you please say hi to my girlfriend, Kai? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Kai, or I'm not that great with names, as you've probably seen on my videos, butchering the likes of Suyonku on a daily basis. But thanks a lot for the donation there, young Thug. I always see your comments. I appreciate it, with the lovely $2. Also, hi to Glenn. Good job. I appreciate the good job there. Is Ings nailed to start 3 games in 1 week? I don't know if it's 3 games in 1 week, but I do think it's not that much of a problem as people are kind of entailing it to be. I think a lot of questions have been answered. a lot of questions have been asked about his fitness and the likes of his injuries. But that's why I'm really comfortable with just keeping him for the next 2, as I think he'll play the next 2. And if he plays against Watford and he plays against Norwich, I'm perfectly happy with that, as those are the 2 fixtures that I'm hoping that he gets a lot of points. Okay, thanks, Chris Thomas. Or Thompson. Sorry for that. I really appreciate you just saying. And if you guys have any suggestions for the streams and how I can make it better, just drop them down in the comments. I read mostly every chat. So, Teesmeister is saying, currently sitting at the top of my work head to head. Thanks to you, Dayvy. £350 top prize. So I'll be making no, you don't have to make a donation. I'm just here to help out the FPL community. So I'm really happy if you do manage to win that work league. Hopefully some nice bragging rights there, and hopefully your co-workers are quite interested in FPL. I know some of my friends kind of drop off after the first couple game weeks. Young Thug, close enough, love you. Thanks a lot. Please apologize to your girlfriend for me mispronouncing her name. I know that's quite a bad one, so sorry for that one. I bought an IU to cover upcoming rotations. That's also a great shout. He's about 5 million, if I'm correct. Crystal Palace have great fixtures, so he should be a good shout there. Looks to have won the spot. I know that Benteke is always in the wings, so hopefully he does keep his spot. Sterling to Pulisic to afford Tammy to Vardy. Now that is an interesting one there, Richard, because I do think that you have to have Vardy now. That is a very tough one. I do think that I would make that move just because it's Vardy. I don't know, is there any way you can maybe not transfer Tammy out? Do you have another striker that you could maybe look at that could maybe be upgraded? Ben Whiteman saying, well, I'm 5,000th in the world thanks to you, Harm. That is a great rank there. If I do remember correctly, I think that I might have been around there last season, so you can definitely win it, Ben. And if you do win it, I'm looking forward to seeing you on the FPL channel or whatever if you have a local interview. But that's a great position to be in. Well done. And hopefully you can keep it up for the rest of the season. LV saying Crystal Palace has played against the top 6 teams for the last 5 game weeks. Now their fixtures look great. Any interest towards Zaha or Ayew? I think Zaha has to show a little bit more of a consistent form before I bring him in, but he is always a good shot. The one I was definitely looking at is Van Aanholt, but now that the likes of Kelly has become available, I think that that's a no-brainer. If you want to transfer out a defender, I would go for the likes of Van Aanholt. We do have Amin saying love from Nigeria. Love from, thanks a lot from all my African brothers out there representing the African continent. So I really appreciate that. Jandre saying, so with Ings, I think that's what we might do. I think it's the same thing as what we would do if we transferred out Batshuayi. So with Ings, I've just brought him in. I'm hoping that Abraham goes down in price. And then, yes, we will bring Abraham back in probably if he does show better form. Recently, he's been a little bit lackluster. So if Danny Ings is performing really well, we'll keep him, obviously. But if there's another striker that we are looking at, then maybe. The one thing with Ings that we could do is maybe upgrade him to Harry Kane around that Christmas period, as I do think that Kane is always good around the festive period. Amanjed saying, a love from Sudan. That's another African country there, so I really appreciate it. Despacito saying, Dayvy Afrikaans. Afrikaans isn't that bad. Hey? Afrikaans is quite fresh. I just can't talk it because I don't think a lot of people in chat can understand it. Pope out, Henderson in over the coming weeks. Corin, I do think that is a transfer you could look at. Just align it with Pope's fixture. So you said in the coming weeks, so I understand that I realize that you understand that this fixture is quite good for Burnley. The thing I would keep my eye on is that Burnley have been quite good defensively. So if they do keep on this run, as that's what Burnley kind of do, they don't get a clean sheet, but then they go on a run of about 5 or 4, and then they go back to not getting any. So if you can plan it perfectly, then that could be a great transfer. But I really do like the Sheffield United double up. Love from Nepal. Great to have you guys here. Saint Sabia saying love from Josie. Thanks a lot. Where's your accent from? Asked Flecky. I'm South African. I think that you probably, once I said that, you'll probably understand that it sounds pretty South African if I don't say so myself. Tomori or Lundstrom If you're asking who to start, I do think I'd play Tomori. I think that's a great shot to go for. I do think that at home, Chelsea have been great defensively. So we do have some other love from Australia and Blowback, Cape Town. So thanks a lot there, Ryan and Dylan. I really appreciate it. And Hila saying love from Kenya. So it's really nice to see all you guys from all around the world. I do know that most of my viewers are from the United Kingdom, probably more specifically England. So thanks for all of you guys from joining. Nikhil from India as well. I love from your kitchen. I hope you're making lunch there because I'm starting to get a little bit hungry, eh? I love from New Zealand, bro. It's 12 a.m. I also have some family over there in New Zealand, so I can understand that big time difference there. So Herman saying, let's captain Salah. You know, maybe that's enough of kind of convincing I need. Just let's captain Salah and let's go for it. But I'm kind of opting for to see you to go for. Yeah, Sebastian. So Afrikaans is quite similar to Dutch, but I probably will have to talk slowly, and you'll probably have to talk slowly, and then we'll probably understand each other. Son versus Pulisic. I just favor Son. I know he is a little bit more expensive, but Son is more the out and out. He's more the out and out player in terms of the fixtures. Also quite good, and I just think he's more of a little bit more of a punt. Kane Dalton saying looking forward to visiting SA when England cricket tour soon. Excited. That's going to be great. It's going to be probably a great fixture. I know our cricket hasn't been that great recently, but England have been looking quite good. But you must always say if you're down here in South Africa, and maybe we can try and organize something. Zigzag. Hey, Dayvy, how's it going? I'm good, and you? Kane or Vardy captain? Kane differential, Vardy safe, Sebastian. So whoever you want to go for. Fernando, good option for December. Or is he too expensive? I don't think he's a terrible option. I think that he's nailed and he has great fixtures. And Crystal Palace usually are quite good defensively. I might be overestimating them a little bit, as I did watch the Liverpool game. And then they were quite good. So I think that can kind of give you a perspective. If they do keep up that defensive form, they should be good, but they might drop off a little bit when they have the easier teams. What to do with Ryan? I think you just keep him if you have no other fires to put out. If your team is perfectly fine and you just want to make a transfer, then I would look at maybe transferring him out. I think I would look at the likes of Henderson, or if you want to take a punt on Gaza, from Spurs, that could also be an option. William saying, William was saying that he was born in Port Elizabeth. My family's from Port Elizabeth, so that's quite nice there, living in Europe. I hope it's always good with you too. And then I saw that we did have Naz Khan, a regular super chat donator. Dayvy, play Moutinho or play Maddison? Help, bro. 100% play Maddison. That is who you should go for. I do think that Leicester will beat Everton, and I do think the Wolves-Sheffield United game should be quite close. So definitely go for Maddison. Vardy or Mane for captain, pretty much the same thing. Vardy's the safe option if you want to go safe, but if you want to have like a high ceiling, I'd go for Mane. So I would honestly, I'm really considering going for the Liverpool option, but being a Liverpool fan, I usually find it quite annoying if I take FPL a little bit seriously when I watch and I don't really enjoy the game. So that's probably, if you are not a Liverpool fan, that's probably a lot easier to watch. Mohammed saying, hey, love from Germany. What's your thoughts behind Ings over Jimenez? So I went for Ings because his next two fixtures are better, and I can always bring in Jimenez later on. I just favored Ings over these next two. I also saw that we had another super chat there. Rico/Ake to Chilwell or someone else for the -4. That's a tough one to say because I don't know if it's worth the -4 this game week. I think that Ake and Rico, unless you really think that they're going to be conceding a ton of goals, and I just don't really know if I want to go for that -4 right now. It's probably the same perspective of my personal team because I could really make the transfer of Ake to Chilwell or Ake to Aurier right now, but I just think that there is always a chance of Ake doing well, and then I would rather just spend the free transfer. Why won't you say the Spurs deputy goalkeeper? I just don't want to get flagged for for or banned for saying something, because sometimes YouTube has specific words that they pick up, and then I don't want to get banned by mistake or something like that. And I have some friends whose nicknames were Gaza, so I am very comfortable with saying that name all the time. Ivan saying, what do you think of David Silva? I don't know if I would go David Silva right now. I just think that City's fixtures are quite tough. And I think that there are better midfield options out there, the likes of Dele Alli, Son. You go for Pulisic, you go for Maddison. Those are all better options in my opinion. Todd saying, I want to do the same captain as you. I want to do Salah as a kind of differential. Yeah, it's completely, I agree with you. It's a differential, perfect game week to do it. But it's just really annoying that Vardy has such a good fixture and he's been in such good form. Double Leicester defense, you could go for that. I don't know if I would go for the two premiums of Chilwell and Pereira, but if you can squeeze in the likes of Soyuncu, maybe you could look at that. But just keep an eye on the cheaper alternatives, the likes of Kelly, those types of players, the Sheffield United lads. They all have great defenses and they are a lot cheaper, so that allows you to upgrade maybe some other players. I would look at that. Is multiple Leicester players essential, or is it good enough to just have Vardy? I do think that you can look at the likes of a defender. Leicester have been great defensively. Soyuncu's returned over the past couple game weeks, so I do think that you should be looking at a Leicester defender because they don't have any other Champions League football or stuff like that, so they can really focus on the Premier League, and you want a player that's going to be starting every couple game weeks, and I do think that Soyuncu or Pereira are the perfect types of players. So FPL Penguin saying Captain Son, really great shot differential. I would say go for it if you want to go for a mega differential. Otherwise, there are always other options to go for. Musset or Ings for Tammy. I'd only go Musset if you really want to upgrade some other departments if you need the funds. Otherwise, it's 100% Ings for me. The Ings-Jimenez argument's a lot more tough though. Tarkowski, Tomori, or Lundstrom for this game week. I would go for Tomori, and then I would go for Tarkowski. He's been scoring mega goals recently. So, Zigzag saying Lukaku still in the EPL. No, he's not. He plays for Inter Milan in the Serie A. You confident about Ake? No, I'm not confident. Ryan to Henderson for free. I would do that. Kane captain, I also have Vardy and Mane. I would only go Kane captain if you want to kind of go a little bit differential. Then it's 100% fine. I do think that Kane will score this week, so it's kind of the same situation where if you want to go for Vardy, he's going to score, same with the likes of Kane, but if the likes of Vardy doesn't score and you captain Kane, great shot, but if the likes of Kane blanks and Vardy scores, then you're in a little bit of trouble. And then you could just go for Mane to just spice things up a little bit. Son or Vardy for captain, Son differential, Vardy safety. It all depends how you kind of want to play it. Why don't you change Salah to Mane? It's just too much of a sideways move for me. I don't really like that transfer. I'd rather just double up on Salah and Mane both. Jesus in for Abraham for a short punt. That's perfectly fine. Not a lot of people are trusting the Man City attack, so that could be quite a nice differential to go for. And Jesus really has a good run of when he does get starts, he usually does score a couple goals. So if Kane smashes a hat-trick this week, who should I transfer out? Son, Vardy, Mane, or KDB? I think you kind of have to go maybe take out KDB. The others' fixtures are just so good. But you do have Son, so I don't know if I would want to double up on that Spurs attack. So I just think maybe keep with Son and don't bring in Kane, even if he does do well. Play Ings or Mount. I would go for Ings. I do think that Mount should start this week. So, Salah, great record versus Brighton. Captain, question mark. Stop tempting me, William. Anaz saying, good luck, Dayvy, all the best. Good luck, and if you guys are heading off, hopefully you guys have a great game week 14, and hopefully it's all your wishes and dreams do come true. Perez, question mark, or Mount. I do think if you're talking about a transfer or who to play, I would play Mount. I do think that Mount will start this week. So, Glenn, thanks a lot for the 15 minutes until deadline. I'm probably going to have to be uploading my team to Twitter. So, I'll probably just have to think about who my captain is going to be for this game week. So, if you think that I should captain Salah, type in chat Salah, and if you think I should captain Vardy, say Vardy. This is what it's come down to, guys. I don't know what the decisions in FPL have come down to, but I'll take a look at what you guys think, and then we'll take it from there. So I'm seeing a lot of Vardy and Valente Gibbs saying Captain Ings. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of Vardys, so that seems to be the consensus. Personally, I kind of think that that I might just go safe this week in Captain Vardy. Salah seems to be the one that I want to bring in as captain, but yeah, I know what you're saying, Glenn. A lot of people are going Vardy, and I want to be a little bit differential. Not many people own the likes of Salah anymore. They're going for Steve-O, you can't come in the chat and say exactly what I just said. The whole stream I've been saying Vardy safety and Salah or Mane for that high ceiling. But you know what they say, great minds think alike. So it's great to have you on the stream, Steve-O. And hopefully all your YouTube stuff gets sorted out so you can get back on those lovely streams that you guys do. Sam saying, okay, go to the wall there with your decisions and just captain Ake. Is it weird to want Vardy to blank if I don't captain him, even if I own him? Jamie, that's the kind of thing that happens when we approach late on in the season. You own the player just for kind of safety, so you own the player to hopefully cause them not to perform too well, and then you miss out. So if it basically comes down to we all own the same kind of players, and then these captaincy decisions are really what impact us. So I'll make a decision soon, and then I'll let you guys know. I'll just have to update the team to Twitter once I do, so I'll make that decision quite quickly. Ibrahim saying, Pope, keep or sell Dayvy. Keep him for this game week. Their fixtures is not bad. Steve saying, I'm Vardy only because it's last game tomorrow. That is true. It is quite a worry when you do captain a player on a Saturday, and I know you're quite superstitious with that one. Daniel saying, good evening. I was actually a little bit sad to see Emery go. I did like him quite a lot. I just don't think it really worked. Doesn't captaining Vardy over Salah make you a little boring? It makes me 100% boring. That's what I started off the stream by saying that Vardy seems like too safe of a pick. And I don't know if I want to play it safe this week. Tammy, for whom low on budget? Kurt, you can go for Musset, or you can go for the likes of Danny Ings. Matt Moore saying, get a face cam. I will get a face cam once I hit 1 million subscribers. I think that is good. Ben Whiteman saying, get out Emery, get lost. I take it that you're probably an Arsenal fan there. Mini leagues are won by being boring. That is true. But then mini leagues are also won by that guy who captains the likes of Ake against Tottenham. So Captain Sterling, that's the other one I was looking at, just to kind of make things a little bit tough on those people who maybe transferred him out. But I think at this stage, owning Sterling is enough of a differential as just keeping him. Yeah, no, I know with I've seen that pattern of Mane, but hopefully it's Salah this week that scores a lot, because owning Salah over Mane has hurt me quite a lot in the past couple game weeks. Would you have any concerns with Tomori not starting? I don't think so. I think Tomori will start, and I think that Mount will start as well. Jonathan saying triple captain Ings. I'm not Rambo over on the FPL streams. I'm not that risky. Maybe if Danny Ings sends me a message, then I would maybe consider him like Rambo did. Play Soyuncu or Lundstrom. I think I'd go for Soyuncu. Mane captain, Pulisic captain, triple captain Vardy. I don't think I'll triple captain Vardy this game week. Save it for a later stage. Sterling to dominate without Kun. He could. I have a superstition that the most captain player blanks, but Mohamed didn't. Vardy scored 12 points last week, and I think he was the most captained player, so maybe. I swapped out Sterling for Martial last week. Do you think I should change Martial out? No, I think you have to keep Martial. I think you just have to go for him, and I just hope that he goes. Sam saying, listen to your heart. But my heart's saying Captain Salah, and my mind's saying Captain Vardy. And my shirt's saying Captain Salah as well, because of I have the Salah shirt on. Son captain instead of playing. I think if you want to go differential, the Spurs assets are a great option to go for. But as you say, it is a differential, and it is a little bit risky. If Abraham is back, don't you think your rank will go down? I think a lot of people will be transferring him out, and I think that once he's back, I probably will bring him back in, so I'm not too worried about that. Matt Henley, exactly. Hard to stop captaining Vardy when he keeps delivering, exactly. What more can we ask for? I mean, he's scored 12 points in the past 2 game weeks, so you kind of have to go for him. Min saying favorite color, it's probably going to be green. Green or blue. Maybe even like a turquoise. Greenwood captain, I don't think the Greenwood captain, but the one thing that someone said was I should swap Greenwood for Hayden. Sorry, that was earlier on in the stream, and that was actually quite a good choice. So thanks to whoever said. As you're doing so well, what's your score on Liverpool, Tottenham, Leicester game? So I think Liverpool 3-0, Spurs, who's Spurs playing? Spurs 2-1 and Leicester 2-0. So that's my... But then, Steve, on the rest of the games, I've said like all draws. So I've gone for a little bit of a tough week to kind of predict. What's your team value? My team value is 109, 100.9, and then 1.9 in the bank. So it's not a great value. It's about 102.8. It's not the highest value I've seen, and it's actually relatively low. So I don't think that it's that much of a problem at this stage. I think once we hit the wild cards, we could be looking at the team value being quite important. Abraham and Martial out, Salah and Ings in. I think that you should do Mane and Ings in. I think that transfer is good. But the likes of Martial could still return. So I think this game week, what I would do is Abraham to Ings, and then you can assess it later on. Will Musset score again this week? I don't know if he'll score. I think it's going to be a tough game, that one. You're going to upgrade your midfield or forwards? I think that I'll probably upgrade my midfield. I think that if the likes of Jimenez is scoring tons of goals, I'll probably will have to upgrade maybe Greenwood to the likes of Jimenez. Your team value is 105. No need to flex, Ben. This is a safe space chat. We don't take flexes. No, I'm joking. 1.5 is great, especially if you do consider the wild card early, or if you still have your wild card, then it proves great value and it's really fortuitous. What do you think about Musetti as great fixture? I think he's a great almost bench/rotatable forward. I think that he's cheap enough to bench, but he's also has great enough fixtures and is on form enough to kind of start. Aubameyang to Kane. Lundstrom or Tomori, I think I would go for Tomori. Aubameyang to Kane, I'd keep Aubameyang for this game against Norwich, and then I would look after that. Brusky saying my team value is 94.3. Yo, you've lost quite a lot of money there. I don't know how that's happened. Kane or Vardy. So Vardy is the safe option. If you want to go for a safe option, go for Vardy. If you want to go for a differential, go for Kane, go for Sterling, go for Mane, go for Salah, go for Lundstrom, go for Matt Ryan in goal, whoever you want to. Tomori or Aurier, I think I would go for Tomori. Maddison out. I don't know, is Maddison injured or something? Because quite a lot of people have been asking me Maddison out. I wouldn't transfer Maddison out at all. I think he's going to get a lot of FPL points from now till that end of that sea of green. So guys, I think this is probably going to be the team I go for. I think I'm going to go nice and boring so you guys can boo me. Just don't dislike the stream, please. Don't abuse me like that. But you can abuse me for being boring in the comments come game week 14 review time, and then we can all see me with Salah on the pitch with 600 goals and Vardy with only 12 points. But I will take a Vardy 12-point appearance again. So I'm just going to quickly post this team over on Twitter, just for the people that weren't following the stream, because I don't think it's fair to only. There's probably going to be a couple of people that are angry that it's so late, but I don't think I can do too much about that. So we're approaching the deadline. So guys, please, 5 minutes. This is the 5-minute call to take off. Please get your teams ready. So please don't miss this deadline because you're watching the stream, because it's so entertaining. Please get those captains right. Get those substitutions ready. And get those minus 32 hits on the ball. It'll be interesting to see who kind of comes out of this game week with a lot of points. I think there's a lot of expectation for people to do really well this game week. I think the average has an expectancy of above like 60 because a lot of people are hoping that their fixtures do well. And I must say there's a lot of great fixtures to consider. And I'm just hoping that we can kind of keep up with this. Thanks, Jamie O. Free tip from Down Under. Thanks a lot for the $2 Aussie. I really appreciate it. And thanks for being free. Not even having to offer any advice there. I appreciate it. No worries, guys. Son captain, but have Vardy. I think that's fine, Glenn. I think go for it. I value your courage to kind of go for someone that not many people will probably captain. I don't know what the exchange rate is. I can promise you that it's a lot higher than the South African Rand. We're pretty shocking. I think you're probably about 7-1. So 7 Rand for 1 Aussie dollar, or maybe even 8. But you don't have to worry about any exchange rates there. Would you consider Williams for United? 4 million. I think I would have considered Williams if I brought him in the past couple game weeks. When Young got that yellow card and was suspended, I think I would have brought him in then. And then he would have been a great shot. But I think right now, I don't know if he's looking too great. Bench McGinn for Mendy. I think I would play Mendy. I think out of those two, I would definitely play Mendy. I think you might be even lucky. And if Mendy doesn't play, you can just bring in McGinn. Martial to Son. I think that I would just stick with Martial for this game week. I don't think... If it's a free transfer, then go for it. But other than that, I don't know. As Glenn with the facts, they won Aussie dollars, nearly 10 Rand. That is shocking. Since I can remember, that exchange rate has gone down quite a bit. So yeah, guys, 3 minutes till the deadline. Please get your teams in. I don't even know why I'm saying that, because it's not like I'm like the FPL manager here. I'm not organizing anything, so... Is 770k overall rank good enough to be competing for the top 10k? Do you have your chips, goofy memes? If you have your chips, then I think that you can get in there with a serious shout. You just need 1 or 2 game weeks. If you've been on the up, then I would go for that. City play Tottenham and United play Tottenham and City next, so a no-no. That is understandable, but for this current game week, because remember, you can still make that transfer next game week. It's not like this game week is a shut-off. How many goals do you think Tottenham's going to score? I think I predicted 2-1 over on Super Brew. Sterling may fall tonight. Man City are playing the first fixture. So the thing is, if Sterling does pick up a yellow card, then we can always transfer him out today, and then we can manage to not have that nice price drop. Jamie saying, Vardy captain, I chickened out. Don't think about it as chickening out. Think of it as securing the bag. We're getting those points. Now watch Vardy blank. Touch wood that he does not, because I think that hopefully Vardy should do well. Glenn, thanks for a great deadline with Dayvy. Always good insight and great. Thanks a lot. I try to bring the banter to FPL, so hopefully it's been quite good and hopefully an enjoyable stream. And let me know if you guys like the name of Deadline with Dayvy. I think it's quite catchy, if I must say so myself, and I created it. So, Babin saying Vardy a yellow card. Hopefully not. Hopefully that means like 2 goals and 7 assists. Locked. Is it 1 minute to go? Todd Carlson saying, yeah, Dayvy, you're the king. Hopefully after this game week, I still will have been the king. But 1 minute to deadline, I don't know if... I think it's time's up. So if you guys have not got your teams in, then go for it. I'm going to refresh here and give you guys the lovely insight of, please try again later. So no kind of things that we can go for. Only things we can go... We can't even go for prizes. So I don't know what else there is to do. There's nothing to do. So, as Glenn said, good luck to all you managers. And Dayvy, I wish you win Elite 64. I'm trying. I don't really know where I am on there. I think I might be... last I remember, I was 5th, but I think I might have dropped to about 7. Guys, please stop spamming with Vardy red card and Vardy to score 1 point. Stop trying to make me regret the captaincy on Vardy. Now everyone's spamming it. So I appreciate it, guys, and hopefully you guys have an absolutely cracking game week 14. No use in carrying on the questions because the game week is done. I'll catch you guys with hopefully a preview and a team selection before Wednesday. It is quite a tough game week to kind of go for, as a lot of games are happening. So I'll catch you guys over on Twitter at DayvyFPL. Please like the video or the stream if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you're new or have not subscribed yet. We're approaching that 15k mark, and hopefully maybe a new profile picture when we hit the 15k mark. I think that's quite due. But otherwise, I'm signing off. Have an absolute great game week, guys, and I'll check you guys later on, as I said, over on Twitter and on the YouTube videos coming on later. But otherwise, cheers, bye.